When I decided that I was going to change the review from the original one to this one, I was a little bit skeptical, but I think I may have made the right choice. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Peter Samuels here, and welcome to episode 33 of the Classic Wrestling series. Now, I did say last week that I would be doing the WWE's Was by Rate. I decided that I wasn't going to do that because of a few reasons. Number one, I need a pay per view for an upcoming event that's happening very shortly, and number two, I've been kind of itching to go back to TNA. Don't know why. I've just kind of had an itch to go back. So, well, why don't we go to June 19th, 2005, in Orlando, Florida, at the TNA Impact Zone, the 3-year anniversary spectacular. That's right, we're watching Slammiversary 2005. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event is the King of the Mountain match, where AJ Styles would defend the title against Abyss, Monty Brown, Sean Waltman, and Raven? Raven was not supposed to be in the match. Yes, Jeff Jarrett was. But Jeff Jarrett was actually arrested for attacking a fan. I don't think it was an actual fan, I can tell you. But yeah, Jeff Jarrett is not in the match. And of all people, Larry Sabisco, the on-air commissioner at the time, decides to pick Raven. Kind of weird. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we have got America's Most Wanted versus the Free Live Crew. America's Most Wanted is Chris Harris and James Storm, and the Free Live Crew are BG James, better known as Road Dogg from WWE, and Cordan. And yeah, pretty much. Also, guys, we have got Run for Truth Killings and the Outlaw, Billy Gunn, and also two X Division matches, one for the X Division Championship, with Christopher Daniels defending against Chris Sabin and Michael Shane. Yes. And the opener, ladies and gentlemen, which is going to be a 6-man X Division match up, where we will have to apologize. I need to scroll down to my notes. Where we have got Sharp Boy versus Amazing Red versus Delirious versus Janelle Clark versus Zach Gowen versus Elite Skipper. Let's watch this match. So we just had this 6-man tag, ladies. This six-way X Division match, and I think that was a good way to open up the show. The X Division has always been TNA's like staple, and yeah, I'm very happy that these guys were there, especially with these guys. Bit weird having Sharp Boy win. And it was even weirder hearing about Sharp Boy's ongoing issues with the Warner Brothers movie, not Warner Brothers, the movie Sharp Boy and Lava Girl, which he actually won, ladies and gentlemen, because he's been doing the Sharp Boy gimmick since like 99, 98 or something stupid like that. Amazing Red was returning here, so I would have thought immediately that Amazing Red would win the match. He doesn't, Sharp Boy does. Just your typical X Division spot fest to open up the show. I think it was really good. Elite Skipper, Delirious, and Amazing Red were standouts. Janelle Clark was quite good, especially hitting the 430. I think that was very, very good. Next up, a singles match between Shocker and Alex Shelley, the returning Alex Shelley. So, let's watch this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've just had Shocker versus Alex Shelley, and this one was good. Like, I genuinely thought it'd be another X Division Spot Fest match, but this one was really good. Seeing Alex Shelley actually having counters and having like the way he was building himself up in the pre-match interview. He has a counter for everything Shocker has. And yeah, it was really good. It was a very, very good match. Shocker winning. I'm a bit torn on this one. I think Alex should have won. I think Shelley should have won. It doesn't really hurt Shelley in the long run. I don't think. A few years after this, probably about Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, who is further down the card, I think, would turn into the Murder Stadium Machine Guns with Kevin Nash, and then turn into Motor Stadium Machine Gun. So really, I think this was a good way to portray Alex Shelley's talents in the ring, and it was really good, especially the way he was able to control the match going from the lucha libre style to the technical wrestling to the hardcore Japanese wrestling style of hard strikes and hard hitting. I thought it was good. Next up, guys, we have Ron Killings versus the Outlaw. We just had Ron Killings versus the Outlaw, and oh my word, this match is bad. It's not bad to a degree, but it's just God, it's awful. These two, here's an interesting fact. Ron Killings is a former two-time NWA World Champion. Forgot about that one. Um, just a singles match between these two. Really nothing special. Really nothing popular. Got the crowd going. With Ron winning. Ron Truth. Ron Killings winning. Especially being when they were when it was the Free Life Crew. His nickname for it was the Suntan Superman. Okay, that's actually kind of funny. I'll give him that one. Next up, guys, we have got the Naturals, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens, taking on Team Canada's Eric Young and Petey Williams, with A1 and Coach Demore in their corner. Let's see this one. We just had the NWA Tag Team title match between the Naturals and Team Canada, and this one was good. I enjoyed the story of Team Canada being the dastardly heels, and before the promo, Shane Douglas, there we go, to apologise about that, guys. Shane Douglas was talking that the Naturals had a manager in their corner to rival Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore didn't have a problem with it. He was there like, I don't care, da, da, da. That would turn out to be Jimmy Hart at the end, using the megaphone. I'm going to talk about the finish. The megaphone, using the megaphone for the faces was stupid. They should have just won by the roll up. Cheeky roll up. They're still good by the crowd standards and stuff like that. They didn't need the megaphone to win the match, I don't think. Naturals, they are bloody amazing. I think they're very, very good. A very underrated tag team. Team Canada, Eric Young and Petey Williams are just so damn good together. Petey Williams is fucking amazing. And Eric Young is very good at this point as well. A1 was okay. Scott D'Amore just pissed me off. I do not like Scott D'Amore. Or Coach D'Amore, as he's now known. But yeah, it was okay. It was a very, very good tag team match. Very happy with it, and yeah, it was good. Next up, guys, the debuting Samoa Joe taking on Sanjay Dutt. So we just had Samoa Joe basically obliterate Sanjay Dutt. Dutt got a lot of offense in this match, which I genuinely thought was weird. I didn't think Sanjay Dutt would have more offense as he did, but he did, and Joe would be, this is Joe's debut match for the company, and yeah, he's a killer here, and he would go on to be a killer. This would be the start of his 3-year undefeated streak in TNA until I think it was Kurt Angle who beat him. Um, 3 years later in 2008. Yeah, Joe just looks like a fucking killer, and he basically just eyes Sanjay Dutt like a piece of meat and just fucking obliterates the poor sod, and taps him out with the Kokita clutch. So yeah, it was a very good match. Next up, guys, Bobby Roode with Coach D'Amore taking on Lance Hoyt, a young Bobby Roode, I might add. So we just had Bobby Roode versus Lance Hoyt, and this one was okay. Lance Hoyt as a big man, being able to move like he does is very impressive in my eyes. Also being able to hit the moonsault perfectly is very, very good as well. I think that was good. Bobby Roode is good. I do like Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode getting the win here. Kind of plays into the Team Canada not getting the win earlier. I think that works really well. Shows that Bobby Roode is the muscle of Team Canada and can get the job done as well. Um, and yeah, it was really good. They beat down Lance Hoyt, and then they kick Lance Hoyt manages to kick out and kick the crap out of Scott D'Amore. Choke slams him and then hits a moonsault on him. As Coach D'Amore is being wheeled out on the stretcher, everybody, including Mike Today and Don West, are just singing na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. It was funny as fuck. Even the commentators don't laugh, like I say. Next up, guys, we have got the America's Most Wanted versus the Free Life Crew. So we just had Free Life Crew losing to America's Most Wanted. This would be around the time that America's Most Wanted would split up. I think it would be next year in 2006 when they split up. And they would go on to have that amazing Texas Death Match at Sacrifice 2006, I want to say. Yeah, 2006. I think it's 6 or 7, I can't remember. I know it was even, I think it was a month before Slammiversary, actually, 2007, I want to say, because Chris Harris was in that match as well. So it might be 2007, I could be wrong on that one. Um, so basically, the tale is dissension between these two teams. BG James and Conan cannot get along BG James is being stopped by the Outlaw to go there. Meltress Most Wanted are on a losing streak. They would win the tag team titles again, and then they would lose to LAX twice, and then they would break up. So it leads into that. Next up, guys, we have Christopher Daniels versus Chris Sabin and Michael Shane. Let's watch this one. So we had Christopher Daniels defeated Chris Sabin with Stephanie Trinity, whoever she is, and Michael Shane with Tracy Brooks. This one was good. I genuinely enjoyed this match. Before the main event, it's always good to have for Slammiversary and King of the Mountain matches, the main event. It was actually quite good to see these three guys outside and actually winning. Very long match before the actual first pin. It was actually I think it was 11 minutes when Chris Sabin hit the cradle shot on Michael Shane to get the win, to get the first elimination, and then another like 7 minutes or something stupid like that, with Daniels hitting the Angels wins on Sabin to win the match and retain the title. Very good match. If I also recall, guys, Samoa Joe would go on to face Christopher Daniels at Turning Point at the end of at the end of this year, 2005, at 2005 at the December 11th show, Turning Point, to win the X Division Championship. So before the end of the year, Joe would actually become champion, which is actually quite good. Kind of ties in quite nicely, I think. So next up, guys, we have got the main event, the King of the Mountain match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Let's watch this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just had the King of the Mountain match, and this one was quite good. Monty Brown gets the first pin on Raven after hitting him with the pounce. Quite quick, actually. I think it was in within the first 2 minutes of the match. Actually, quite good. Then Raven pinned Styles to after a pounce by Monty Brown. Quite smart. Abyss then pinned Monty Brown after a black hole slam. AJ hit a bit. AJ hits a spiral tap through a table on Abyss, so AJ gets the 1, 2, 3 on Abyss, and then Waltman manages to climb the ladder. AJ's about to hand the belt on the hand the belt up. Waltman literally runs off and manages to hit the X Factor off the top of the ladder to get the pin, but Raven would actually win the match. Kind of weird having Raven won. He's literally put in the main event the night of the show and wins the NWA Championship. It's quite weird. So let's go through a little bit of a history going forward after the aftermath. So let's do this. So after winning the NWA, I'm using Wikipedia for this part. I've just copied and pasted it. Copied, pasted, changed a few things just to say. So after winning the match, Raven would fight Abyss in a dog collar match, which could only be won by pinfall at No Surrender, the next pay per view. Match was set up on the June 24th episode of Impact, where Abyss attacked Raven after James Mitchell became the new manager. Raven then challenges Abyss to a dog collar match on the July 1st episode of Impact, which Abyss accepts. He then defeats Abyss at No Surrender to retain the title. AJ Styles and Sean Waltman would have a feud going forward as well after the way Waltman pinned Styles, which would be a very good match. Styles actually requested the match on the week after the July 1st show, so July 8th. which was granted after making Jerry Lynn the special guest referee, which is good. And Styles would actually defeat Waltman at the pay per view. Christopher Daniels fought Petey Williams over the X Division Championship. So Daniels basically goes out and says that he's beaten the best Mexican and American X Division wrestlers to retain the X Division title. I never knew Michael Shane was Mexican, so that's an interesting one for you guys. Petey Williams challenges Daniels for a title defense at No Surrender. Daniels accepts. Daniels retains the title at No Surrender. So, after Slammiversary as well, Team Canada would continue their feud with the Naturals and Lance Hoyt. At No Surrender, they would have a six-man tag, which Team Canada would win. Then the Free Life Crew went on to face Money Brown and the Outlaw in a tag team street fight at No Surrender. Money Brown is in the main event at Slammiversary and manages to go into a tag team street fight at No Surrender. What the fuck? So basically, Brown and the Outlaws attacked the Outlaw attacks Conan and Kaylin's during an interview segment with My Today. BG James isn't there. Don't know why. Mitzvah, whatever it is. Money Brown and the Outlaw defeats Conan and Killings at the event, and BG James runs down to the ring. Outlaw offers it. Billy Gunn offers him a steel chair. BG James declines, leaves, and they would actually merge to the James Gang and then turn into VKM, which is the Voodoo King Mafia, going forward in 2006, and feud with Christy Hemme in one of the worst fucking feuds possible. I hate that feud. Also, guys, talked about how Samoa Joe made a debut at Slammiversary. So Samoa Joe would defeat Chris Sabin at No Surrender. Then he would compete in the 2005 TNA Super X Cup tournament, defeating AJ Styles in the finals at TNA Sacrifice event on August 14th to win the tournament. He would then go on to defeat. He would then go on to beat Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels at TNA's Turning Point for the title. So that was my my review of the show. What did I think of the show overall? Really good. Watched it in one sitting. Quite good. The production, I watched it on YouTube, so the production is every so often it cuts. So it cuts for a few seconds and then it restarts. It was like, oh, just give me the full match. But it's the way they've done it. If I could pick the match of the night, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think I may have to go for the three-way elimination match for the X Division Championship. I think that one was very, very good. Worst match of the night? I've. The problem is, every match on the card tells a story to a degree, or would go on to tell a story later on in the night. So I might have to go for Ron Truth and the Outlaw, just because it was my expectations were there and they were just slightly below average. Which is nothing against Ron Killings and the Outlaw. I think they're good wrestlers, but they just don't work together well. I think in my eyes. I couldn't really give a hierarchy, but if I could give my top three, three-way X Division elimination match number one, King of the Mountain match number two, Naturals versus Team Canada number three. If I had to pick my top three for the night. So, guys, that is my TNA Slammiversary 2005 review in the pocket, out of sight, out of mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where we'll be going next for next week's episode. I'm currently very, very busy working on some stuff for Drinking Gamers. Give us a check out. So, I don't know where we're going to be going next week. We might be doing an episode of Primetime Wrestling. We might just be doing an episode of an old school Raw. If I can get everything worked, if I can't get everything worked out, but if we do, guys, I will comment on the video, in the comments on the channel, guys. If that does happen, it will be either a old school Raw or an old school Nitro or whatever, guys. I will tell you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this episode, and as always, see you hopefully at the bar. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.